Many of us chalk this up to aging and move on, but in reality, it's not just age. In most cases, it's because our bodies are quietly running low on some key nutrients we've never been told to pay attention to. That's exactly what we're exploring today. We'll walk through 5 specific nutrients that play a powerful role in protecting our muscles, keeping our legs steady, and easing those frustrating aches and cramps that tend to appear after 60. The best part is, there's no need for complicated medication or handfuls of pills. With a clear understanding and just the right amount of daily support, our bodies can bounce back naturally, and more importantly, sustainably. So if you've been hoping for lighter steps, stronger legs, and a little less dependence on pain medication, then this episode was made for you. Feel free to hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so we don't miss each other in the next health-focused episodes. And if you know someone who might benefit from this, don't hesitate to share it with them. Sometimes, the simplest bits of information lead to the biggest changes. Let's start with the very first nutrient on our list. It's what we like to call the ignition switch for building muscle after midlife, and surprisingly, it's one that many of us are missing without even realizing. 1. Leucine. Here's something most people have never heard as we get older. Our bodies no longer respond to protein the same way they used to. You might sit down to a meal with eggs, chicken, or fish, just like you did in your younger years, but the results are very different. That's because our ability to convert protein into muscle gradually declines over time. This slowdown is known as anabolic resistance. In plain terms, it means our muscles don't react to protein as efficiently as before. The rebuilding and repair process becomes sluggish, and we begin to lose strength in key areas like the calves, thighs, and hips, places that tend to shrink first as we age. That's where leucine steps in. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid, part of the BCAA family, but it's far more than just a building block. It acts like a trigger. When leucine levels are high enough, the body gets the green light to begin muscle synthesis, especially in older adults who need that extra push to activate repair and growth. Imagine your meal is made of bricks. Those bricks are protein, but to build a wall, you still need a worker to lay them. Leucine is that worker. Without it, you've got the bricks, but no one to stack them. That's why it's not enough to simply eat protein. We also need to make sure our meals include enough leucine to spark the rebuilding process. The good news is, leucine is found in many familiar foods. Milk, cheese, eggs, chicken, beef, and fish are all rich in it. One of the most concentrated and easy to absorb sources is whey protein, which is derived from milk. For those who struggle to chew or have a small appetite, a glass of whey protein in the morning can be a gentle and effective way to help the body kickstart muscle growth with no heavy meals required. Why is this so important? Because losing muscle doesn't just make our legs feel weak. It sets off a chain reaction. Falling becomes more likely, balance gets shaky, and walking can start to feel like a chore. Worse yet, we may begin to lose our independence. But if we protect our muscle mass, the legs stay light, our reflexes stay sharp, and we keep the strength we need to move through daily life with confidence. Researchers from the University of Texas have shown that leucine significantly boosts muscle protein synthesis in older adults, even when their diets aren't particularly high in total protein. Their study found that meals containing adequate leucine led to better strength outcomes and noticeable muscle improvements in people over 60 who were beginning to lose muscle rapidly. The takeaway here is simple. We don't need to eat more. We just need to eat smarter. Try starting the day with a boiled egg, a glass of milk, or a few slices of soft cheese. At lunch, think about grilled chicken, baked salmon. Every meal that includes a source of leucine gives our body both the signal and the material to rebuild. And if we pair that with light movement, such as walking around the house or doing a few sit-to-stand exercises, the impact is even greater. Our muscles respond to both fuel and activity. Together, they create a strong foundation for the legs that carry us every day. 2. Vitamin D. The unsung hero behind steady legs and strong muscles. Most of us think of vitamin D as the go-to for bone health, and that's true. But its role stretches far beyond just supporting our skeleton. Vitamin D is actually a quiet powerhouse behind strong, well-functioning muscles. It helps us stay upright, walk with confidence, and move without that deep, dragging fatigue in our legs. Vitamin D doesn't just help us absorb calcium. It also plays a direct role in how our muscles move and recover. When we don't get enough of it, our legs can start to feel like they've been drained of energy. Even standing still for a few minutes might make our knees feel shaky. That's because vitamin D is present inside muscle tissue itself, helping the muscle fibers contract and release in a smooth, coordinated way. Without enough of it, that rhythm gets off track, leading to stiffness, cramps, or even sudden muscle spasms. Another piece of the puzzle is balance. Research has shown that low vitamin D levels, especially in older adults, are linked to a higher risk of falls. And falls aren't just a one-time bruise. They often lead to fractures, long recovery times, or even loss of mobility. That's not a future any of us want, especially when something as simple as vitamin balance can make a difference. That's why health experts are now urging older adults to give vitamin D the attention it truly deserves. In fact, a major review published in Calcified Tissue International in 2020 revealed a clear connection between vitamin D status and muscle strength. The authors noted that when blood levels of vitamin D are stable, the chances of muscle weakness, particularly in the legs, drop significantly. But if deficiency is left unaddressed, it can quietly lead to muscle shrinkage over time, even in people who are eating what they believe is a balanced diet. So, where do we get this crucial vitamin? Sunlight is one source: natural, free, and wonderfully effective. But here's the catch: not everyone gets enough sun exposure, especially in colder states or during long winters. And as we get older, our skin naturally becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from the sun. That's where food steps in to fill the gap. Some everyday options include salmon, tuna, egg yolks, fortified milk, and even mushrooms that have been exposed to sunlight. A bowl of salmon salad or a fortified glass of milk in the morning can quietly boost your vitamin D levels without the need for pills. If you're unsure whether you're getting enough, a simple blood test can tell you exactly where you stand. And if your levels are low, your doctor can recommend a plan to get them back to where they need to be. You don't have to guess. And more importantly, you don't have to wait until symptoms show up. In daily life, the goal is manageable. Spend 15 to 20 minutes outside each morning if weather allows. And make it a point to include vitamin D-rich foods in your meals at least 2 or 3 times a week. It's a small habit with powerful results, helping you feel more grounded, less achy, and more ready to move freely. You don't need intense workouts or long hikes to stay mobile. But if you want to maintain your balance, stay flexible and avoid those nighttime cramps that sneak up when you're just trying to rest. Vitamin D is a quiet companion you can't afford to ignore. When you give your body what it needs, it returns the favor with steadier steps, more restful sleep, a better mood, and fewer long days of unexplained fatigue. 3. Omega-3. Let's take a closer look at something most of us think of as just fat. But this isn't the kind of fat we try to avoid. This is the kind that quietly helps us move with less pain, less swelling, and a whole lot more ease. We're talking about omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. The 2 stars in this healthy fat family. As we get older, there's something happening beneath the surface that we don't always feel right away: low-grade inflammation. It's not like the kind of swelling we get from a bruise or a cut. This is chronic, silent, and slow burning. And it's one of the big reasons why our legs feel heavy, our joints get stiff, and we start to dread even short walks or standing for too long. Many of us chalk this up to just aging, but it's often our body's way of saying, "I'm inflamed, and I need support." Omega-3 is one of the most powerful natural tools we have to calm this hidden inflammation. Researchers studying older adults have found that people who consume more omega-3 tend to have better muscle recovery, less joint pain, and even a lower risk of falls. One review published in Frontiers in Aging in 2022 concluded that EPA and DHA can improve muscle protein synthesis, reduce muscle soreness, and lower the markers of inflammation in aging muscle tissue. What does that mean in daily life? It means if we're getting enough omega-3, we're less likely to feel that deep, nagging soreness after doing something as simple as cleaning the kitchen or taking a walk around the block. Our legs recover faster. Our joints creak less, and we're more willing to keep moving, which is exactly what keeps our muscles strong. Omega-3 also helps maintain healthy blood vessels, which improves circulation to the legs. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients get delivered right where they're needed to fuel the muscles, repair any damage, and prevent that dead weight feeling we sometimes get in our calves or thighs. So where do we find this magical fat? The best sources are fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and tuna. Just 2 servings of fish a week can make a noticeable difference, not just in your legs, but in your heart health and brain function too. That's a win-win-win. Instead of fish, there's a whole world of plant-based options waiting in your pantry. Walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds might seem small, but they're packed with omega-3 in a form called ALA. While the body has to convert ALA into the more active forms EPA and DHA, even this gentler version still helps calm inflammation and nourish our muscles, especially when it becomes part of our regular routine. Here's something else to consider. Omega-3 isn't stored in the body for long, so it's not like calcium, where you can load up and be set for the week. This is more like watering a plant. It needs to be regular and consistent. A little bit, a few times a week, will go a long way toward keeping those legs moving without complaint. So today, we've taken a deep dive into 3 powerhouse nutrients that can make all the difference when it comes to keeping our legs strong and steady after 60. First, we looked at leucine and vitamin D, the key activators that help switch on the body's muscle-building machinery, while leucine acts like the spark to start the process. Vitamin D ensures that our muscles contract smoothly and keep us balanced through every step. Next came omega-3, that calm, soothing fat that helps put out the tiny inflammatory fires that slow us down by keeping joints more flexible and muscles better nourished. Omega-3 makes it easier to stay active without the nagging soreness that often comes after even light movement. And if today's conversation gave you something useful to think about, please give the video a like. Share it with someone who might be struggling with leg pain or muscle loss. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep learning together. Before we go, we'd love to know, was there a nutrient we talked about today that surprised you? Drop a comment below and tell us what you've noticed in your own routine. We always enjoy hearing from you. We'll see you next time, right here, as we keep uncovering simple ways to stay strong, independent, and feeling good one step at a time.